Alright, another book tag. Here we go. Hey folks, my name is Jen, and today we are here to do a book tag. So I was recently tagged by the lovely Autumn over at Nose in a Book to do the New Year Booktuber Tag. So let's get into this tag. So, question number 1 is, what are you most excited about for 2023? So, personally, this year, what I am most excited about is a couple of get-togethers that I have going on with some friends and family that are happening this year. Super duper jazzed about them. My husband and I also bought our house that we've been living in, so I'm also excited because we are going to start hopefully doing some work to it, because it just needs a little bit of work done, so we're gonna hopefully do that this year, so kind of excited about that as well. As far as reading wise or booktube wise or anything, I'm pretty excited about trying to take part in more things, trying to be involved in more readathons and more tags and actually conversing with people, doing more of that thing. I'm excited about the possibilities and things, and I am also just pretty excited to see what this year is going to be like for reading. I have a lot of really good books that I'm wanting to get into this year. I have a lot of books I've gotten recently that I'm very excited about, so yeah. Number 2 is, do you have a Goodreads challenge goal and why that number? So I do have a reading goal set. It is for 60 books. It's a little lower than what I had last year. I have had goals sometimes to read 52 books, because I figured a book a week, that's doable, that's not bad. I have done up to 75 because I tend to read a whole bunch. I have at some point, different points in the year, changed it to different numbers. I think there was one year recently that I hit 75 pretty early on, so I think I upped my goal to 100 because it was I think I can manage that. But I decided on going with 60 books this year just because I feel even though I know that I can read more, I think that setting the goal at 75, I have done for the past couple of years, just was a little bit of pressure on myself, and I feel I have enough pressure that I put on myself in my personal life and on here, and consistently doing things that I don't want to have more pressure on myself for amount of books that I'm reading in a month. I feel I'd rather go for focusing on quality rather than quantity, so that's why I kind of dropped it a little bit. I do think 60 is pretty manageable for me because I have over the past few years consistently read 100 or over 100, so yeah, just having it be more of a reasonable goal, I think that will make me just feel a little bit better overall while reading this year. So question number 3 is, list 3 5-star predictions. Okay, so the first of these predictions, and it's one that I don't feel I haven't talked about it a lot on here, but it has come up in reels a couple of times on Instagram, and that's Sadie by Courtney Summers. I have been wanting to read this book and also kind of putting it off because I've been a little bit nervous because it's been hyped so much for me, but I do think that this is just 100% up my alley. There's like a true crime element to it. It's like a mystery, and it's torn between like the point of view of Sadie herself and also like a script from a true crime podcast show. So I just feel like this is exactly what I want in a mystery thriller, and I'm a little nervous, like I said, because of how hyped up it's been, but I also know that this is like everything that I could ask for in a mystery thriller, so yeah. Other 5-star prediction is actually like both of these books. It's A Hope Divided and An Unconditional Freedom, and they're part of I think it's the Legal League or the Loyal League. I keep getting it mixed up all the time what series this is, but they're by Alyssa Cole, and I absolutely adored the first book. It was one of my top books from last year, and I just really love Alyssa Cole's writing in general, so I have a feeling that these are definite like 5-star reads. And I also think that The Three Musketeers is going to be a 5-star read because Count of Monte Cristo blew my friggin' mind last year. And I know that this is like a very different story. This is not a tale of revenge, and revenge is like a trope that I really like. I know that this like differs from that, but his writing is just so unbelievable that I have a feeling this is also going to be possibly a 5-star read for this year. Okay, question number 4 is, what genre, subgenre, or trope do you want to read more of? Well, I mentioned one that I really enjoy, which is the revenge trope. I've definitely watched more movies of that than I've read books of it, but it's something that I would like to read more of. And honestly, like, found family trope is like a one that is always really big for me and always something that really warms my heart and makes me really happy, so I would like to read more books in that because it is something that I really enjoy. I am trying to focus more on books that I already currently own rather than buying stuff. Like I said in one of my other videos, I'm trying to like focus on that this year, and if there's like a book that comes out that I absolutely have to read, I am gonna try to utilize my library more because that's, you know, wiser. I don't have a lot of room, and also I just honestly I miss going to the library. So genres are subgenres though. I read a few classics last year, and I would like to read more classics this year. In fact, I think I don't really have that many classics left on my TBR shelves, so I honestly want to try to maybe like read all of them by the end of the year. Do you want to say hi? You're being mischievous. Say hi, Binks. If you ever see my videos and you see the camera suddenly like jolt or I look like I may have been swearing a blue streak, or you hear a little tiny cry in the background, it's this one. She is my little shadow, and she is just always has to be in here with me. Yeah. Okay, question, oh my gosh, what are we on? 5? 5. Question 5 is, what trope do you think will be the most popular in 2023? So that's kind of a hard one for me to predict because while I do definitely look into books that are like coming out and books that are currently like everybody else is talking about that have come out are really popular and stuff. I do grab books that come out during the year, but I have like so many things that I want to read that I tend to like just go from all over. Like really old books or books that came out like 10 years ago, books that came out 5 years ago, books that came out a couple of years ago. Like I tend to focus more on things that that have been out a while, that I haven't read, that I really want to read, for the most part. So I don't know. I'm gonna be really bad at predicting that. I don't know. What is it? The dark fairy stuff. The fairy stuff still seems to be going strong, so I guess that's something that's still going on. So there's that. A lot of books about thrillery type things, like creepy community, like almost like Stepford wife type stuff. Like that's pretty popular, I think, right now. So something like that. I don't know. Those would be my best guesses. Question number 6 is name 3 bookish goals for the year. So first bookish goal, I guess, well, I guess if you still count like my challenge goal, like how many books I want to read, I do want to try to read 60 books this year. If I read more than that, amazing. Other than that though, I have my 23 and 23. I definitely want to read those 23 books this year. I want to get through them by the end of the year. I am still continuing my thing when I make my monthly TBRs, where I try to read one of my classics, because that's the genre that usually intimidates me, and I also want to make a goal to try to read one of my unfinished books, something usually from my nightstand of shame, where it's books that I just kind of stopped for whatever reason, because new things came out, because it was a new month, something bored me, I stopped for whatever reason, I don't know. Those books I want to get back to and do, so that would count too. One is I would really like to just do more things with the community, I guess. Like taking part in like readathons and reading challenges and like that kind of thing. It's nice to know that I'm not just screaming into the void when I'm talking on here, and even though it's really exciting to be able to like interact with people and stuff, it also makes me a little bit anxious about the social interaction, because I usually feel like I'm gonna say something wrong. But yeah, I would like to do more things, do more stuff, so I'm not just this like just sitting over here alone. Like I said, screaming into the void. One is a similar one. Spend more time with people. I have a tendency to get into hermit phases, I guess. I don't really... I like social interaction, I like hanging out with other people, but I'm also pretty okay not doing it that often, just because I am rather introverted, and sometimes if I have a lot of social things going on all at once, it can be extremely draining, and it feels like sometimes that it's even more draining now, since like 2020 and everything. It just feels like this stuff takes more effort. So one of my goals is to make more of an effort to spend more time with people, with my friends, and with my family, and you know, just spending more time with people in general, and yeah, doing more together. My husband and I used to have set schedules of social interaction with family and friends, and then that kind of got fucked over the past couple of years. So I want to get back to like that normalcy of regular scheduled interactions, like that kind of thing. Another goal that I really have for this year is just being more mindful of like health and stuff. I am honestly a little bit out of shape, and I probably don't watch what I eat or do as much as I really should. So one of my goals this year is also trying to be more mindful of health. Like, this is not a soda, this is a seltzer, which if you told me like 4 years ago that I would be drinking seltzer, I would have been like, you're disgusting. Um, but this is cherry limeade and it's not bad. So that's just being more mindful of that and trying to go for more walks. I just downloaded a yoga app, which is interesting. It doesn't honestly feel like yoga, it just feels like I'm planking now for some reason. Okay. And one of my other goals is writing involved. I have probably mentioned it before, but I'm in like a writing workshop with some friends, and we basically, it's a way of helping each other write, hold each other accountable, and kind of help each other with the process by like reading, critiquing, brainstorming with each other, and trying to get to a place where maybe, hopefully, we'll be able to get published. So I really want to focus more on writing this year, because I tend to be someone who procrastinates and then just writes all willy-nilly, and I would rather get to a space where actual like writers work, like they have actual set time that they set aside each day and do things like that. And I want to make that more of a something that I do daily, even if it's just like 10 minutes of nonsense. Like, just make that part of my writing life. So hopefully, maybe by the end of the year, I will have submitted something to somewhere, possibly, whatever it is. Last question is, what do you want to leave behind in 2022? What would I like to leave behind in 2022? Self-consciousness. That is something that I would like to leave behind. I am someone who is always a little bit self-conscious about everything, and nervous about how others perceive me, a lot, often to my own detriment. Even though I can jump into phases of not giving a flying fuck what others think, I tend to fluctuate back into this like little person balled up in the fetal position, like, oh my god, everyone hates me, kind of a thing. So yeah, that is something I would like to leave behind, is self-consciousness and just, you know, being a little too scared about, you know, how the world perceives me and stuff like that. I would like to leave that behind. I'm starting to get there. Like, I'm starting to get to a point where I don't have a filter anymore, which is both, like, good, but also not so great at the same time. But, yeah, I'd like to get there to where I don't really care as much. Okay, so that's it for the tag. I have no idea who I'm tagging at this point, because I'm still just a little bit nervous about tagging people and stuff. I will think of a couple of people though. I'm not sure who it's going to be right now, but by the time I'm editing this and like putting it up and things like that, I will have at least 1 or 2 people in mind. So just check down below who's tagged, I think it should automatically just come up for you guys, so you should see it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And oh, if you want to do this tag and I didn't tag you, dude, feel free to like do it too. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!